Parenting. Thank you, Your Honor. David Inhofe on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Ryan Davis, Supreme on behalf of Ms. Jennifer Hooker, who's present here. As to the show cause and her failure to drop and or drop dirty, there's no excuses. My client admits all of that, and she specifically instructed me not to make any, really any excuses for that. She is struggling with her substance use. At this time, she wants the court to know that she has relocated and lives with her sober elderly parents. She's also reconnected with her sister, who is works through Northern Staffing in a management capacity, and she's in the process of hopefully assisting Jennifer in becoming employed. We did have a discussion on the fact that, you know, using methamphetamine is likely to be a significant detriment to her employment prospects, which brings me to the Catholic Human Services interaction she's had with Ms. Ziegler. And I have another letter that Ms. Ziegler handed to my client that she just handed to me. And I just want to read from that letter just briefly. I look at some level of self-actualization from my client that is perhaps greater than most individuals who stand before the court due to drug use. My client wrote, I want to stop getting in trouble. I want to be able to spend time with my grandchild. I want to stop using and build better relationship. I was finally just able to babysit my grandchild. The reason for the visit and desire to become engaged is my use continues to lead me to legal trouble. Even my PO said the only time I really get in trouble is with dope. Judge, at this point in time, she's got a significant criminal history that she acknowledges. In discussing with her, she's indicated that the vast majority, including the assaultive domestic violence that is referenced in there, stem from her drug usage and the making of poor choices and life partners and the such. So she stands before you, really, frankly, ready and willing to take any punishment the court deems appropriate in this case. She was cooperative with law enforcement in the facts giving rise to the conviction. She was cooperative in the PSI process. She was obviously not a good candidate on bond due to her ongoing use. And she's addressing that. The court is obviously aware that this is not a linear process, unfortunately, for most. But that's certainly not an excuse. You can't, you know, parade an attorney before the court to say that she self-actualizes and that gives her carte blanche to continue to use over and over again. I would ask for the court to consider all this information. Certainly, the court is more than able to follow the recommendation, see the recommendation, put any conditions towards a potential probationary sentence in place.
Your Honor, the probation department did want me to indicate that they do believe that Ms. Hooker continues to live at that address. I pose a concern, but I did want to speak in Ms. Hooker's behalf. We all know people that are defendants that are struggling with substance abuse, and when faced with being caught with drugs, they fall on their sword. And Ms. Hooker has done that, and I want to give her credit for that. This was a situation where back in April there was a compliance check against a third individual regarding a curfew-related violation, Jack Parks, and she was very cooperative with law enforcement. She provided consent to go in to the camper. She provided information. She agreed to testify. In fact, she did testify against Mr. Park at a prior evidentiary hearing. So that's to her credit. And I do believe that since the co-defendant pled last Friday, I believe that was in strong part largely due to the fact that, you know, he believed that she was ready, willing, and able to testify to trial. So I do want to give her credit. She's received some benefit. I would ask that the court consider that in the sentence. And with that, we would leave it to discussion of the court here.
All right. Just coming back. Did you have anything to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with the risk of, please, Judge. She did tell me before that with the assistance of Catholic Human Services, she was not accepted for inpatient at this time.
Yeah.
But she does tell me she's accepted for sober living. I don't have specific information as to where that process is.
All right. Thank you. Is that grandmother in the back room?
No, it's my aunt.
Aunt? Okay. Well, I don't know who actually owns that house.
Sandy's talking to you.
And Jenny.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
He wants to know who owns my parents' house.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just her aunt.
Well,
I don't
live
You're
in
not-
Court-
You're not just an aunt, you are an aunt. What's your first and last name?
Sandra Hooker.
All right, thank you. All right, well, Sandra?
Dad is the brother of my husband who is deceased.
All right, well, I'm very sorry for your loss. All right, thank you. So here's what I just want to say. Because part of sentencing is about deterrence. That's one of the drug houses here in the county, right? We all know that. I've been saying it so often in the last month. It's a drug house. It's a drug prop. Nope. That's okay. That's okay. Hold on. It's okay. You're not on the stand. So and I'm not trying to be rude. Just because I have to have you come up here and swear you in, and we don't need to do that. But I'm tired of mentioning.
There's people that live in that house that have nothing to do with it. They're elderly people that are in.
I appreciate that. That's partially why I'm mentioning this. So nobody there turns their eyes away from.
That puts everybody that lives there at risk.
I agree. That's why I'm telling you, ma'am.
And I don't live anywhere near there. I'm not.
I know.
mean, I'm not even a blood relative.
Okay, ma'am.
But I love Jennifer and I want to see her turn her life around and do better.
It's okay. It's my
Why
fault.
I'm here.
It's my fault for starting the conversation. Thank you very much.
I wish I could have talked to you in private about this.
Well, ma'am, I couldn't allow that. That would be unethical. I can't have ex parte communication, but I appreciate it. I wasn't trying to insult you or anybody. What
Well,
I'm
you
trying,
kind of are, because I don't use drugs. I'm not involved in that kind of a life at all. And you have now included me in that same address.
ma'am, I didn't, you told me you don't live there. I did not do that. So I'm just trying to say,
Painting me. with
ma'am,
that brush.
we're done talking, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you. I was trying to be polite by saying, if you know the people that live there, let them know. Because I know this also involved a trailer or camper in the backyard. And so by letting you know, because by the way, I don't know what's always in my house. I've got 3 kids. They have tons of friends. That's why, by the way, I search the rooms when they're not paying attention. Because we don't have a 4th Amendment in the house. I was just trying to let you know so that there are people there. And if there are people that are elderly, then they need to be aware of these potential dangers. That's all. I'm sorry that you took offense to it.
I do take offense.
I noticed you've already said that to me. And I'm trying to apologize to you. And if you don't like the apology, at least I've made it, because that wasn't my intent. My intent was to protect those that are there, especially if there are grandchildren around. If we don't talk about these things, then we all don't take the opportunities that we have to help protect people. So it was intended to be positive. And I'm very sorry that you took.
Well, thank you for your apology.
Thank you. All right. Well, so here we go. Ms. Hooker did do a good job by helping the government on that one file involving Mr. Parker. And she definitely received a benefit by getting this plea the way she did. I'm going to highlight something to Ms. Hooker. Ms. Hooker, not everybody does this. Some of the public defenders locally catch it, and I'm not picking on Mr. Nagle because he's new to it. And by the way, sometimes they put them in there just to make me feel better. Don't. This is all about you. Now, on this pre-sentence investigation report on page 1, there are comments about substances. I just want you to do it. Doesn't have to be on a piece of paper.
No, I got my PSI.
Yeah. Just look at that page 1. See at the bottom?
Yeah, prior record.
Yeah. You see those substances down there?
Yes.
You'll see that there's something missing. Now, I don't need them added, by the way. This isn't about correcting the piece of paper. In your own mind, or maybe on just your copy, you should put down September, whatever today's date, the 12th. So you know, right? Step 1 in any 12-step program is admitting the problem. So you are admitting the problem and this piece of paper for you and your family, and particularly those grandkids, although I don't have pictures of them. I rarely see ugly grandkids, so I'm sure they're adorable and cute.
Well, there.
Put an end date on there for you, okay? Jennifer, that's because I want to see you stop doing this. That's what it's all about. And I know the saying's cheesy, but it takes a village. It takes friends and family who live around you to all know that there is a problem and to help you. And by the way, that's why I was mentioning about the home, because I know that there are other people that live there. And I know that there are trailers and there are people that come and go. So I want them to be aware so they can help you and be vigilant. All right, so I need to be able to establish the reasonable proportionate plus, because this is a misdemeanor. There was another person involved in this case. The sentence was on November 13th. It looks like you were sent to residential treatment. And it took you less than 2 months, about 6 weeks before you were violating the terms or conditions. So it didn't even take you. I'm sorry?
I completed rehab twice.
Okay, I got it. I'm not saying you didn't complete it, but I'm telling you here, look, it says right here that you originally had 7411, then you were discharged from it, and then you got jail. And the sentence date was November 13th of 2020, and then you were sentenced on December 7th, 2020. And you had multiple violations in 2021. In fact, you had them also in the midst of this other case, 15 of 18, which was committed while on probation. Now I discard 16, but that was dismissed. And now we're down to 17 and 18. Well, number 17 was another domestic violence for you. And you got a period of jail and you were discharged from that on November 23rd. And it took you 3 months before picking up this case. So what I'm saying here is you've had some period of time where something seems to be occurring. And when they do, you get a series of cases stacked to back. And violence, theft, and drugs are a significant part of your life. And they give me a great deal of concern. I'm sorry, there's something, when they do these for misdemeanors, they're not as detailed. Have you been into rehab before?
Yes, I've been in rehab before.
Have you been in inpatient rehab?
Yes.
When was the last time you had been in?
2021, 2022.
The court sentences the defendant to a $50 state minimum and $75 crime victims' right fund fee. I'm going to say $100 court costs, a $300 fine, a $150 attorney fee. One moment. The court sentences you to the recommended 120 days with 8 days off credit. All right. You have all fines and costs are due within 56 days, or a 20% penalty can be added. Now, I certainly did not mean any disrespect to the aunt. Wasn't coming out well. What I again meant to say is just as I said it to you. We can only survive when we, I was talking to somebody who started a program over in Cadillac, and it said, people live addiction in the dark, in isolation. People live recovery in community. You could substitute that for family as well. That's why I'm drawing your attention to. So it's not in the darkness. So you're not in isolation. So people in your family and your community know. Because I like to think, although over the last 48 hours, it's hard to think this in a world, I like to think people care. And I like to think that your community cares and that they'll reach out to you and help you if they see something happen. And so they'll be ready to be there to help you should something happen. We may not always all get along, but we really should all try to help each other. Thank you. Have I missed anything, Ms. Odell?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Just down.
In the event that employment does somehow work
You can
out,
bring it up to the prosecutor and I'll authorize. Wait,
Yes,
hold on, wait. I don't need to do that. If she gets in a job, if she obtains employment and it meets the program through the jail, I already approve work release.
thank you, Judge.
Thank you. We're adjourned.